your first year of trucking survival is what we're looking at right now. So in your first year of trucking, you're going to have a lot of hurdles you're going to have to jump over. And there's a lot of struggle that goes with them. And these are going to be kind of the things that I say is going to be most important in dealing with your first year of trucking and making it through your first year of trucking. The first thing the first hurdle you're going to jump is dealing with your trainer. So you got a trainer, he's from a different place than you are. You talk different, you have different stuff in it. You don't have nothing in common. You're going to have to find a way to deal with that and keep it professional and get through your training. And until you're off of his truck and you're ready to get on your own truck, you're going to have to deal with that person. You're away from home for another thing that's going to go on during this time. You're away from home. You don't see anybody that you're normally seeing. All you see is this new guy, your trainer. And you're going to have to learn how to get along with him until you finish training to get onto your own truck. Once you get onto your own truck, you're great from there. So, the first hurdle you got to jump is dealing with your trainer. The next hurdle that I would have to say is your next biggest hurdle is dealing with the navigation. So you're going to have to learn how to navigate to a truck stop. You're going to have to learn how to trip plan. It's a big hurdle. It's hard to do sometimes. You got to start figuring out, hey, I can make it this far on my clock. Navigation goes hand in hand with your hours of service because you have to know how much time can get you how far. What if it stops working? What do we do then? What do we do if it it just went out? You're going to have to be able to find your way there using the atlas. Hopefully you did a lot of trip planning before you even drove with that navigation that day. Sometimes it's going to give you, good places to stop to call it a day. Sometimes you're going to have to find a little mom and pop truck stop. You got to be able to find these places. You're going to have to be able to use Google Maps. Zoom in on the place that you're going to. Figure out where the truck gate is, where you have to go in the morning. If you go to the wrong gate, you're going to end up in the parking lot. And it's caused me to go the navigation and bad trip planning and bad looking on maps and stuff like that, not using Google correctly, has got me into some trouble out there. And I've had to find my way back around to get turned around to come back to the place that I was going to. Also, be careful with rerouting. You say you pull over and you take you a nap. Make sure that you pick the stop that you're going to and make sure you know where you're at. Always know what state you're in, what highway you're on, because I've had a friend that he took a nap and he rerouted that thing, and whenever he got up, he reprogrammed it back to his old 2. So he didn't go to his 90, he went right back to his old 2. Got a major service failure. It was not good just because of navigation. The next hurdle you're going to jump, unfortunately, is bad loads. So you're going to have those loads. It's your first year. How much do you think they trust you? Now they're all like, you got CDL, you made it through training, but we're going to start off easy on you. We're going to give you these loads with extra time on it, therefore making it a bad load, because you could get more miles, you could get another load done. There's a whole bunch of stuff, but they want to see if you're going to make it or not. So you're going to be dealing with those bad loads. You're going to be dealing with you messing up and you sleeping in too much maybe, and you ended up getting a service failure. You're going to get that load to Walmart where you come in more than an hour early because you're inexperienced and you don't know that Walmart will not take you an hour early, and they will give you a service failure and reschedule you 24 hours later. Now, you should have learned that during your training, but if you didn't, you're about to learn it in your first year. So there are going to be bad loads out there. There's good loads out there. There's bad loads out there. And unfortunately, you're going to have to get a bad load sometimes. You're going to get good loads sometimes. It all depends. It's luck of the draw. A load could be real good, and then the weather could turn out bad in that area. So, that turns a good load into a bad load, because you might have a good load that delivers 9 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, but you just hit a blizzard and you missed that appointment. So they're all like, hey, we can't get you till 2 days later. And what? Now, normally you would get you know, if it's not your fault because the weather was that bad, then they're going to reschedule it, and they should be able to help you out with making up the revenue that you're losing, making your money back that you're losing with at least my company. So you're going to have to deal with some bad loads. The next hurdle, I would have to say, it kind of goes along with bad loads. It really does. But low pay and being financially prepared for the worst. So, you know, there's going to be those weeks that you're not making the money that you came here for. You're going to have that bad week where you did not make but like $200 that week. You have to be financially prepared for those bad weeks like that. You have to take money and put it into savings. That way, if this comes around to having one of those bad loads or those bad weeks, you have money to fall back on. You're going to have your real good weeks out here. You're going to have your real bad weeks. Whenever it was my first year, I had those weeks where I was like, yeah, man, I love trucking. I make so much money. To the next week where I was all like, bro, I can't. I'm going to eat a lot of ramen noodles this month. Or I might not even eat. Because my thing is, I have a family at home and they come first. So I'm like, I would let them eat, and I would not tell them that I'm not going to eat on my truck because I want to make sure that they had enough money to eat. Now, it hasn't came down to that being that rough, but I have planned for it. Like, I was like, you know what, if it comes down to that, I'm going to be eating sandwiches and ramen noodles and living cheap as I can because my family comes first. Now, being financially prepared, it's going to take some self-control on your part. You're going to have to not spend money, not blow money. You're going to have to put money back. You're going to have to get that big check and say, I'm not going to blow this all on Doritos because we love Doritos. Like, who doesn't love Doritos? Doritos and hot Cheetos. Like, you can't even spend all your money on like the fancy clothes and stuff now that you're making money, the nice shoes. Like, you got to save your money for those rainy days, those bad weeks. You might have 2 bad weeks in a row. Can you survive that? Also, I say before you even come out here, you should kind of be financially secure before you even come to trucking. So that can also be before you come trucking. Make sure you're financially prepared to come out here because you still have to go through training. We don't know how long that's going to take. If you're a fast learner, boom, you'll learn it quick. If you're a slow learner, it's going to take you longer. You might need to be able to pay your bills while you become a truck driver. So make sure you're financially prepared on both ends and make sure you do savings. You never know what the week lies ahead of you. You know, I had 1 week. My fleet manager, he was out of town. It took me 24 hours to get a load. Got stuck out of Tyson for 36 hours because something happened. I don't even know what happened. They kept saying, we don't have the product. You know, and my fleet manager wasn't in. I had the weekend guy, and I was all like, hey, man, am I getting paid for this? He's all like, yeah, get with your fleet manager when he gets back. I'm all like, man, he's not coming back till next week. You know, I ended up having like a $600 paycheck that week. I got stuck somewhere else. I mean, it was just one after another after another. My fleet manager came in. I said, look, this is what happened. I didn't get paid this week. You know, this. I was setting for these many days. You know, he made up for it, but I had to wait till the next check. And sometimes you'll have that load that will carry on to the next week. So you might have a good load to finish up your week, but the thing is, it might have fell on the next week. You have to have money set back for when that happens. Yeah, next week, it's going to be a good check again, but you have to be prepared for this. You have to take that into account, that sometimes your loads will fall onto the next week. And then the last thing that you have to do is you have to build experience during your first year. Take everything, good or bad, and learn from it and learn how to improve yourself. Even the good. You can improve from doing good, and you can improve from doing bad. So you're going to have that experience on learning how to trip plan. You're going to have that what if mentality. What if I have a bad week this week? Am I going to be able to make it next week? Like, play that what if game. What if I have a bad week? would I survive? Even you guys that have 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, whatever, think about that. What if tomorrow my trucking company just ended? How long would I survive financially? It's time to look at this, even for you experienced guys. Make sure that y'all play that what if game. You know, I suggest that if you do lose your job, like, have enough money put back for at least 3 months worth of, you know, time off. That way, if it takes you a little while to find a job, like me, I'm gonna be motivated. Like, I'm not one of those people that lose a job and I end up depressed and I just sit there and like, oh, I'll get a job whenever. No, if I lose my job, I know what I got to do. Like, I'm a motivated person. Whenever there's a task I have to do, I am motivated to do it. Like, especially whenever it comes to finances, my house, my family, you know, all that. We ain't going without over here. I'll do whatever it takes. I will work. I will hustle, you know, whatever. I ain't going to say I will rob you. I will take care of business to make sure we eat. I'll tell you that. You know, you got to be prepared for the worst, and getting all this experience out of, like, under your belt, learning all this stuff, you know, how the Qualcomm works, how the macros work, how your company likes this, likes things done, what's going to get you the best load, being vicious, not being late. All of this stuff is going to take into effect of what your fleet manager is getting a picture of you. Does he have somebody that always makes it on time, that's vicious, that's like, hey, I need another load, where's my next load, like, I got to get paid, man, I got to get money, you know, he's looking at that to see what kind of driver you're becoming. That way he knows, hey, keep this guy moving so this dude ain't calling me, bugging me no more. You got to be vicious out here. It's dog eat dog world at the end of the day. So if you're on them like, hey, I need a load, I need a load, I need a load, they are going to be like, give this guy a load so he'll stop calling me. And that's what you want to do right there, is you want to have that fleet manager be like, Twister's going to call me if I don't get him a load. I better get him a load because he's about to deliver that one. And he'll wait about 30 minutes and then he's going to be on the phone with me. He's going to want a load, or he's going to be sending me messages as soon as he delivers that. Like, you got to be ready for this first year also. Make sure y'all are prepared. The first year is, man, it's a little bit extreme. There's a lot of stuff going on your first year of trucking. So this is kind of like a heads up and kind of what you're going to be going through your first year. And there's a lot of people that is all like, man, it's nothing but rainbows and money falling out the tree on you out here. No, it's going to be work. It's going to be work. Your first year is where you're going to learn a lot. And you're going to learn even years after that. Every year after that, you're going to learn more. You're going to put more tools in your toolbox for success. But you got to survive your first year. That's where we're at right now. Survive your first year. Become better. Make more money. You know, you're going to bring your whole family up a level in the world. Like, comment, and subscribe. Don't miss Thursday Night Lives. I hope this video has helped some people out. And if I influenced you to come to Prime, or I helped you make a decision come to Prime, please don't feel free to use that referral code right there, and make sure that you call my recruiter. My recruiter's pretty good. Jenny, she's great. Make sure you call her. She's very knowledgeable. I haven't had one person complain about her. I haven't had one person not come in prepared. You know, that means a lot right there. I have people coming in prepared. They got their check stubs. They got everything they need. So definitely use Jenny. She's a great recruiter. Like, comment, and subscribe. If y'all want real life questions and answers, every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Time, we are doing the Q&A. So make sure you don't miss that. So write down your questions throughout the week. Throw them in there. I'm out. So if you love this content that I put out on this channel, then make sure you click the next video right there. Also, if you want to check out some playlists I have right there. Don't forget, Thursday Night Lives, 7 p.m. Central Time. You can come ask your own questions and answers and get all the information you want. And if you want to subscribe to this channel, then go ahead and click that face right there.